Hey everybody, it's Chainsaw Reacts back once again with another film review for you guys. Today, guys, I'm reviewing Mortal Kombat Legends Battle of the Realms. I do want to thank Warner Bros. Home Entertainment for sending me an early copy to review for you guys, and yes, I have a lot of things to say. Let's get to this first because in my opinion, it is a no-brainer. The fight scenes freaking deliver. If you saw Mortal Kombat Legends Scorpion's Revenge that came out last year, yeah, the fight scenes deliver there, they deliver here once again. I had a certain expectation on the fight scenes going into this, and I was actually quite surprised by how brutal it was getting. I mean, Scorpion's Revenge was brutal last year, but like, wow, I think in my opinion, this film went a step further in terms of the fight scenes and the gore and just how brutal it got at times. If I had to guess a certain percentage of how much of this film is action in terms of fight sequences, I would say 60, 65, 70%. Sometimes it's just there just to be there in terms of furthering the plot. But other times there's meaning behind it and there's a reason why you're seeing it. So I had no issue with that. And the plot of the film in terms of a final Mortal Kombat, it makes sense. The film is pretty much action all the way through. Now in terms of the story, I like the idea of this final Mortal Kombat and the reason behind it. And I think they did a pretty good job at delivering on that aspect. However, there was another storyline that I don't think the marketing really talked about, which I won't talk about here because, to me, it's a spoiler, that involves around Scorpion in this film. Now, I'm not going to get into too much detail here because I don't want to ruin the experience if you haven't seen the film yet. But in my personal opinion, this other storyline going on with Scorpion, I felt could be its own movie because of how much stuff is involved with it. And cutting back and forth between the storyline that we're keeping up with in terms of the final Mortal Kombat and then this storyline with Scorpion, I just felt like they could have made these two separate films. Like they could have made the final Mortal Kombat its own film, and then all of this over here with Scorpion and everything, this could be its own film as well, in my personal opinion, but that's just me. They were delivering on certain aspects of both stories going on in this film, but I just felt if they were to put more focus on the final Mortal Kombat storyline, which I felt like should have been the majority of the film, I felt like it would have been more impactful. Like they still deliver on the stuff that they're telling here in terms of story and character and fighting and everything and the purpose behind all this fighting. But with this over here, with this other storyline with Scorpion, I just felt like, man, they could have done so much more with this because it's really interesting. And I felt like they could have focused more on it if they didn't have to split between the two storylines going back and forth. But that's just me. I still overall enjoyed the film and I definitely want to watch it again. The voice cast delivers in my personal opinion. I really enjoyed their interpretation of these characters. Sometimes, and this is not at fault with the voice actors or anything like that, it comes to the fault of, I think, of the story they were trying to tell here and all the things they were trying to, put together. Some characters in this had a couple of lines and they were just kind of there just to be there for, I guess you could say, fan service. But other characters, there was a lot of meaning behind being in this film. But I felt like if you're going to have these characters pop up, maybe have them have a little bit more meaning to the story than just popping up just to kind of be there. Like there's certain characters that have a couple lines, but they're impactful and it makes sense for them to be there. And others, they're just there and they have a couple lines. Maybe they don't have a couple lines at all, but they're there just to be there. Just go, oh, look at that character. Oh, look at that character. And I just felt like if you're going to have them in the story, have them be there for a purpose, for a reason, not just to be there just to go, ooh, 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 ooh. Like, I get it, because I was sitting there going like, oh, that character, and then realizing after the film's over, it's like, hey, I like they were in there, but they didn't need to be in there. Like, there's certain characters that they did, yes, but others, not so much. Going back to the fighting real quick, there are some moments in here in terms of the gore and the brutalness that I was quite surprised by, but then I kept thinking about Mortal Kombat the game, and going, actually, this is not as insane as some of the stuff in the games, but like, did they have to go that far with that moment? Maybe not, but it damn sure was impactful. As someone who grew up playing the Mortal Kombat games, and I probably shouldn't have when I was that young, but it is what it is, I had a really good time watching this film. I had some issues in terms of, maybe they went a little too far here in terms of the gore, which really isn't that big of an issue, but did they have to go that far? Maybe, maybe not, but it was a decision, and they went for it, and they want to show you how impactful it can be. And some of the characters, they really didn't need to be there, but they're there just to go, ooh, look at that character, but they really didn't make an impact in the story. And with the two storylines going on, they really should just focus on one or the other and not so much trying to divvy up, time for both of them. Or maybe they should have made this film longer. But I had a really good time watching this, and I was like, I wish it was longer, I wish there was more here, and I think there definitely is more coming for sure. There were a couple of surprises in this film that took me back a little bit, because I remember watching the trailers for this film and leading up to it and getting excited to watch it, there was a couple of moments I'm like, that's really good and that's interesting because I wasn't expecting this and this and this to happen, but it happens and it kind of makes sense because it takes me back because I'm like, I wasn't expecting them to go that direction, but I like that they are because now I'm not really sure where they're going to head to next, like what's going to happen next. Because once this decision has been made, it alters things around the story and the characters. Like it changes a lot of things. So like I was quite surprised of some of the choices made in this film. I think I've made it pretty clear in terms of the blood and gore and the violence that this film is clearly R-rated and they really push that to the limit. And I feel that if you're a Mortal Kombat fan, you're going to really have a great time watching this film. There might be some moments where you're going to go, just like me, where you're like, they could have done something differently there. They really didn't need that character there or that character there. I mean, at this point, it's like, if they have some of these characters showing up just to have them there, why not have more, you know? But I think if you're a fan of Mortal Kombat, you grew up playing these games, or you love the lore of Mortal Kombat and you like these characters, you're going to have a good time with this film. If you like Mortal Kombat Legends, Scorpion's Revenge, I can't talk today, you're going to like this film in my personal opinion. You're going to have a great time. I can't even talk. It's been a long, long day. But overall, enjoyed this film. Like I said, I have my critiques, I have my things. But the voice cast, in my personal opinion, was great. The animation was great, obviously, in terms of talk about the fight sequences. The fight sequences deliver. And overall, I had a great time, even though I had small gripes. But I'm excited for the future of what Mortal Kombat is going to be in terms of animation, because this is a new medium and they can tell new stories and they can go into different directions than what the games are doing right now. So that's pretty exciting. So in terms of this film, Mortal Kombat Legends, Battle of the Realms, it is worth your time in my personal opinion. If you're a Mortal Kombat fan, definitely check it out. And let me know your thoughts in the comment section below, guys, what you thought about this film if you've seen it already. If you haven't, let me know about your excitement. And come back and comment below your thoughts after you've seen the film. And let me know what you thought about the film. So hope you guys enjoyed the video, enjoyed the review. I will talk to you guys soon. Peace out.